Evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 583 edition of InvestData Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Yes, we look at what is happening in global market as usual. We saw that the local market here, NGX, we saw a little profit taking on yesterday. Today, I will see that same thing. We'll come back to discuss the NGS. But let's start from our normal market because Asia market, most of the country in that continent or in that zone are still experiencing their World New Year holiday. Don't forget that February is the time for China or current Chinese to celebrate their New Year and all that. That is still happening there to speak. The market there is still not trading today, and we are seeing few value because of that market is not there. On Monday, we saw that it was the President day, President's Day, to celebrate America. That happened on Monday. But today, I'll tell you that almost all the market are still in green. What's happening in Europe and US is back. Can see that the trading there is in green. And here in Nigeria, NGS, Africa was also seeing a mixed market. But I'll tell you that Nigeria market, as we speak, NGS is also in green. But good news, look at what is happening in Europe market. Let's start from there. Then we'll come back to our market. If you look at what is happening in Europe market, I'll tell you that for me, it's a good start also for the week trading for that market. Don't forget that on Monday, the market has also remained in green, and that trend has been sustained, in the Europe market. A good one that, as I speak now, market stocks there in that market, or call it markets or stocks in that zone, are looking in green. We're seeing opening higher this morning, but with investors or market players paying attention to what to earnings. That means we are seeing a solid digestion of these numbers as all eyes are still on more, and the one that are covered, seeing solid quarterly numbers or full year earnings of companies in US. That as well as we are seeing also US inflation also cooling down. It's also sorry, I could also see the UK inflation cooling down. For me, it's a good one for that. For me, it's okay for being the beginning of the year. These numbers is what price feed on, and it's also happening in this mature market as we speak. Right away, I'll tell you that the Germany market that we look at the index, we call the DAS index, is also in green, up by 0.7. For me, it's a good one. And in France, CAC 40 is also up by 0.5, and that of UK market, FTSE 100 also the major index in this market are also in green, recording a 0.5%. For me, it's a good one on the strength of what? On the strength of solid full year and quarterly result. And these are the spotlight in that market as well. That we are seeing that numbers coming. It's also a reflection. I tell you that if you wanted to assess a company, an economy, companies in that economy performance also. That's why I said the capital market or stock market is a leading indicator. Don't put it that way. In any economy, once you see company performing well, it's a reflection of what the economy is. But at times you can see that there might be a separation, kind of a disconnection between the economy and the market. It doesn't last too long before it also reconnect. As we speak now, seeing these numbers that are coming, in Europe market, it tells you that yes, we are seeing improvement. Put also some macro data in that zone. It's also point out. Also, we are seeing that the ECB is also keeping quiet, trying to make sure that the monetary policy in that environment or policy is also driving the economy, also stepping out of normal relationship to go to where they can boost that region. For me, it's a good one. It's also reflecting on the number. I'll tell you that Europe equity received real boost from most of the numbers that were released, and that is a good one. And I tell you that also, despite also I think that there's revaluation in artificial intelligence related companies. This valuation have weighed on US market before rebounding as we see that this morning was in that we will come the US market. But I will tell you this valuation has continued in those market economy because of the AI and also big tech companies. For me, the numbers that will come in 2026 will be a major pointer where these companies are going, and that's why in our market here today, even when we're seeing prices are high, most of the companies are still grossing on their value. The ones that are high without fundamental, we'll be mentioning them here in Nigeria. And because today we'll come to our market, look at topic we're discussing, but let me finish with the global market to see that you must know how to play dividend time and also profit taking period to see how you can buy into value. We'll come to, and this trend is also happening in the market economy. I can tell you that numbers that are coming here, in Europe are green, and also it's a good one. Both, the small scale businesses there, or those that are listed, they are doing well. But I'll tell you that, British defense companies are really also posting a good number. It's a reflection that also investors are also expecting a high payout from that defensive company, the British defensive company, BAE. I think that these are the things that's also driving the market. I tell you that profit has also climbed because the demand for that stock also. And don't forget that as high military expenses also across Europe and United States has also supported the revenue and the growth of this, defensive, defense companies that produce. Not like here in Nigeria, we don't have them, but where there's, don't forget that the war in Ukraine and Russia have lasted for many years. You can see the, kind of conflict in the Middle East. We're seeing attack here and there, geopolitical tension here and there, but some companies are taking advantage of that, and that is why I see the number that are coming from this British defense, it's also a company, it's also a good one, pointing to where they are going. But how long? That means that is why sector rotation. So very, but that's why I said your risk is already on a particular company. Now you can see why these company numbers are very strong now. Will liquid continue? If peace come back to global, then what will be their fate? These are things also investors look at this. Always that's why you move from one stock to the other, looking for where opportunity. Because I tell you, whether in the short run or the long run, right feed or any a company that beat earnings, beat expectation in terms of forecast is also, even when they are on the company forecast or market expectation is always visited with what, with appreciation. But when you come below market expectation, the appointed number, market also flog you. But that's what we're seeing also in Europe. That for since Monday now we're seeing that market looking now because numbers are coming. UK, I said earlier, UK inflation cools sharply, more than expected, which is also a good news. Let's see how far going to impact UK for their first January inflation figure came lower since the March last year, which also is also lifting also the livelihood of people there, and also say that rate cut from rate cut likelihood or opposite of rate cut from Bank of England is high in their next month meeting. For me, it's a good one as we are seeing the inflation, consumer prices rose by 0.30% in annual terms, last month, slowing from 3.4 increase in December is a huge one as released by World the national statistics. In that region, that for me is a good one. We're seeing that crude oil also inch up. This Wednesday is a good one as we're seeing. That US and Ukraine, Iraq, nuclear situation is ongoing. This negotiation also, bringing. But for me, the easy, there's really easy in terms of fear of supply distortion. As to speak, yes, consider that oil price is also looking up now this Wednesday, bouncing from a sharp drop we see in the previous section, which also a good. We're seeing that the stability between that 62, 64, and 57, 68. That for me, it's a long time we're seeing oil touching 70 again for this while. But let's see how far this stability we're seeing in that price. As but I believe that companies that are countries that are producing more will benefit. If you increase your output and with the price, fine. But when your output is small and the price is also the same for those countries that are producing. But for those countries that are consuming, it's a plus for them. But that's why we are seeing inflation slowing down, even the first month of January. Not only in the US, we have seen that in Europe, we have seen in South Africa that the January inflation also slowed down. Nigeria, we also experience a little easing. These are the things that's happening. And is it a trigger? Is it a sign that we're going to see a kind of policy change in terms of monetary policy for central banks? Even from the mature economy, we see that it's a whole was saying, even when inflation is also dropping above 4. Let's see what will happen here in Nigeria by 23 to 24 of this February. But I believe that we are not expecting a rate cut in Nigeria. But if it comes, that will be a plus for equity market. But let's move on to what's happening in US right now. We'll discuss what is we're seeing in UK Eurozone. But let's look at what is happening in US. US was on break on Monday, like I told you. For this one, as in our US market is in green, moving up stronger again. After we've seen a pullback as a result of revaluation and all those stuff. But right now, I'll tell you that the indices are up, linked toward gain ahead of what the trading days would also be more. And the light of what USL, all eyes are to see the minutes of USL, interest rate part, to see also how heavy, the head of the corporate Americas, the numbers as coming. This also determine what will happen. But I believe the minutes from the Fed Reserve January meeting is set to be released, and this is also what eyes on looking at as investors. Also, I think that the last quarter last quarter we saw that the Prophet was also saw some investment in conglomerate. These are good positions, saying that yes, a major tech firm and also a large US bank can see the position of your portfolio and sector rotation is key anywhere in the world. Yes, I can tell you that if you look at the make indices in that market, in US market to speak now, I think that it is looking up as investors are also getting up to to what the release of the minutes will look like from Fed. These are the things in the last monetary policy meeting, and a clue to what the path will be this year. And also, all eyes are still on as companies continue to release their fresh going to release their fresh corporate earnings. These are the things that also shape the market. Good news as we speak now, Dan Jones is up by 0.1. That means gaining a 55 basic point, and the Y&P is also up by 0.2, and now that 100 is also up by what 0.1%. Now in the main, in all the main averages in the market have risen up from the previous section. For me, it's a good one. On the strength of rebound, of the tech company shares, so that gains in Nvidia and also Apple also help to reduce the losses, and also we are seeing again also we are seeing a slight in Microsoft and Oracle. These are the things also that's also pushing S&P as we speak now. I believe that the technology and also these are the things that the market are looking at. But there's still some worry in that market, looking at the outlook forward for the tech industry generally. But we're seeing that major big tech companies are trying to achieve, because investors are evaluating what is happening in that space. And that is why I say that any economy must pay. But once again that don't follow those that are follow the fear of losing out. What you do, buy to value at the right time. But as all eyes are still on this their Fed meeting minutes, that was also start a path ahead of monetary policy for the bank in the coming months. But let's see how it's going to look like at the end of the day. But I tell you, also don't forget that gradually the chairman of Fed also type to start also stepping down. These are the things I will see. But I believe that at the end of the day, investor will take a clue from what the minutes will always give. That also give an eye in the right direction. But it's also oil price, like I said earlier, taking up and means the US and Iran talks. But let's see how far it's going to be sustained. Good one as we speak now. I think that oil price is around 67.61 dollar per barrel as we speak now. At this our good one from the previous day when it was down by almost 2% on Tuesday. But we're seeing kind of a rebound this morning as we speak. Also, we're seeing that the Patrol network also slumping as slumping as we'll see. The group see that the quarterly and top line numbers are not they are below expectation. Let's see how far, if these two numbers also will provide more guidance on where market also appreciate of what they are seeing, or market to trade number the way it is. I've said it earlier that we are seeing position taking in most of the one of the biggest bank and tech company by the Warren Buffett company in US. Yes, let's come back what is happening to Africa. Africa market is also good at this hour. American market has been so resilient after you, which is a good news for us in this this side of the world. In Africa, our market is not doing badly at all. And also good news coming from South Africa. We are seeing also the South African inflation. Like I said earlier, it's also easing as we saw in Nigeria earlier. Last week when they released earlier this week, at the beginning of this week, inflation figure. Also, we are seeing another big country in Africa. South Africa also easing. We are seeing it in UK. Inflation figure for January. Good news as we are seeing inflation slowing down. That shows that. Don't forget also after the major celebrity or festival in the end of the year for the month of December, we're seeing that inflation is cooling now. So it's a good one to start the year. And it's very important that we're going to see central banks of this world, central banks of different economic cutting rates. It depends what the dynamics in that country and what they want to achieve. And also we're seeing crude oil price remaining since Trump came on board. You can see that stability, not much of pain. You can see also crude oil that's also helping also to control price across the globe. Yes, sir. Before going discussing our topic today, our topic today is NGX profit taking and buying back on fundamentals. It's very, very important. This is not time to panic. I will tell you that market is still having liquidity, but pullback is part of the market dynamics. Why? Because profit taking is also part of the market dynamics. How will you take advantage of profit taking or pullbacks, as a trader or investor? Where are you standing? We'll discuss all this one the later time we have here, but we'll discuss more where we're talking of risk management and also the portfolio balancing among the alternative investment window come Saturday, for this month, and now it's next Saturday, where that is the we'll discuss around the 12 to 1 also by God grace of about that the topic for that day. But for today, we're looking at NGX profit taking and we're buying and buying back on on fundamentals. But before we start that, let's look at the market data right away. What is the market saying on NGX here? I'll tell you that yes, the market is not doing badly at all. We're seeing a positive market this morning, even when market tried to pull back from the peak, after touching as high as 191,750.68 a previous day. That means, is it on Monday that after that was starting this pullback? We just witnessed after market have been almost a day about almost 5 trillion. We saw that the market are coming down. What sign is it giving you? Is the market is that end of the party? Which also, if you look at our chart here, you can see the sign here. After market have said a pullback, you can see it's tested here pullback. It's also part of what we're going to learn today. You can see this strong candlestick here. What follow is the market taking out this strong amount of candlestick? No, for now. And what does it send to you? Yes, we're looking out for to see inflation figure. We're looking to see more corporate earnings that will come, with corporate action. What is the impact going to have on the market? Yes, before we go there, as we speak now, market is reading 189,750.29, up by what 387.37 basic point, representing 0.2% up. And I will tell you this is a good one for today. Market have traded about a range of what 199,362.94 to 199,964.39. I see the range market have traded today. For me, it's a good one. So let's quickly focus on the market internals. Market internals is also negative as we speak. We are seeing more sellers in the market than buyer. Even when we are seeing the general market, also that means we are seeing a mixed market at this hour. We are seeing index going up, while the market breadth is also in red. Why I mean red, we are seeing 21 advancer and also 28 decliner as we speak right away. And because it's a live market we are discussing, it can change. Positive about the general market is in green, but market breadth is also in red as we speak. Yes, let's come back to see, look at the topics for today. This is our major concern. Today, we want to see, NGX profit taking. How can you trade this kind of market? Like I said at the beginning that after you have seen, an all-time record rally of, adding the about 5 trillion in one single day on the NGX. After we now experience a profit taking, a pullback on Tuesday. For me, it's also a sign that yes, correction is part of the market. However you view it, that creates opportunity for you to buy. What matters is that if the market is still a healthy market right now, with this adjustment, I will tell you that the market is still healthy. There are still opportunity for investors to buy into fundamental standard stock or equity at more attractive price. Because of what, as numbers are coming, the valuation of this company will continue, and for that we must pay attention to what a healthy pullback to buy deep. And buying deep, you are buying in fundamental stock. And also, you must also know stock that if you exit at this point, those stock that has no good fundamental that have rallied, how far will they go? But I tell you, because market has gone to a new level, we're seeing a shift in the market. The type of dividend announcement or corporate action will determine how far price will go, even when your numbers are looking good. Because prices have gone up, how is the company trying to manage their price with what they're going to pay out? This is very, very key, and that should guide every one of us that is trading this market today. That so that you're able to buy into value. Because I think that there are some stocks that are still serve as what as defensive. That's some that still buy for as well, as dividend paying stock. But all eyes is on these companies, so that when looking at the value, we want to look at if the value is increasing, are we seeing a decreasing what market value? Is the market breadth positive? All these are good. But I'll tell you that there's no profit taking, and something has to trigger that profit taking that bring what a pullback. Most time, normal profit taking is also good part of the market. It helps to unlock opportunity for investors that are not in the rally, and that's also good. But we're also saying that yes, Tuesday pullback for me is probably driven by what investor locking in gains from the previous bull run, which is healthy and good. But market has hit a new all-time high. The history of the market is the market at overbought territory, which will say yes, is the market at sell off now. But I will not say the market is sell off, but because of sector rotation, there are some sectors that are lacking. But you must pay attention to those sectors that also have the potential to rebound fast. And don't forget that also in the history of our market, investor will play a long history, because history most time repeats itself. Because which sector is one of the high dividend paying sector, that the stocks are liquid and also you can market anytime, is very, very important. I must pay attention to that sector. So, and which companies are dividend paying companies, which companies also that you see that pull back in their price, will make their dividend yield to become more attractive, you must pay attention on them. Then also buy into the opportunity market has created with this pullback. You must buy on what? On fundamental is very, very key. You select some companies that has all it takes for you to see that the underlying values are what you are seeing is also very, very important. Sector rotation is part of of playing this pullback, because I tell you where you are not in and you see pullback and information either global, either from the general government policy or monetary policy or what is happening, anything about expecting, you need to know the sector to relate to rotate to where you want to put your capital. As we are seeing the fund also in the market is this pullback, that is not that funds leaving the market. No, it's part of the market dynamic that better to take profit. Put our stock that are hitting. You need to look at we are seeing flow into the consumer goods. Yes, their prices are gone up. What is going to come out from this consumer goods? It's just market sentiment that don't push in this consumer goods. You need to also look away from company that has weak fundamentals. Target company that has what strong fundamental. A price of stock or company might move on sentiment. Sentiment cannot sustain that price. It is earnings and corporate action most times that sustain your price. Yes, liquidity is very, very important, but when market sees a company to be what to be grossly overpriced, that company also will suffer for it in due time. Even when you are saying that yes, price is very stable, but I'll tell you, many investors also be playing that company with what with caution. You must pay attention. Also, high trading activities, also looking at volume. Which company are portraying volume? Why the volume in that company? That's why you must pay attention to volume when you are looking at this pullbacks we are saying, because it's very, very important that you consider this pullback. But for all, like I just said, you also look at ahead. What are you expecting? A market at a crossroad. I'll tell you, a market at this crossroad, what is the next thing you should do? Yes, market dynamics will always reflect what tug war. You see people try to do short-term profit taking and long-term fundamental strength, focus. You have to look at the sharp decline in the banking stocks. What does this portray for you? What is the driver of this pullback, and also what the key driver of rally suggested that will come anytime from now, because sector rotation is really underway, and that is good because it is help you to really balance your portfolio. And also in all this, caution is also being apply, because like I said, as investors digest recent corporate earnings and also are waiting to see further dividend announcement or clarification or declaration. These are the things that also give market direction, because I believe that the market direction may also be influenced by the outcome of MPCBT, which I said earlier that I'm not expecting to see a rate cut or a rate hike, but we expect to see a hold again. And that hold again, the world expecting, that means the only factor that can give market a new direction is what the numbers. These numbers, the strength of this number and the what how Jewish is the reward coming from what the company in terms of dividend. That means you must pay attention to this, which also But in doing all this, you must pay attention to your technicals to see where the market is going technically, because that is the only way you can to enter at the right time. And also, but that means you now need to pay attention to what for bargain on trend as we speak now. That bargain on trend is coming with this pullback, and not only pullback we're seeing in the market. Which sector is pulling back? Which also just stock that is pulling back? Which one is still going up? You must pay, because I tell you, company with a sound fundamental and also good dividend paying companies will not suffer too much pullback. That means if you are in such stocks, what you do, opportunity come when pullback to buy, because most of them also will come back to oversold region that will not provide opportunity for you to enter. You enter to also looking at your technical, looking at the long term, outlook for this company you are entering. What is what the factors on the long run? This possibility is very, very important. When you are seeing that the long run remain positive, you need to also pay attention to them. What to support this economy reform, who sector is going to pay more. Yes, the new listing we're expecting in the market that's going to also affect the market positively. You must pay attention to all this, but that is the only way. And also sector that is showing more resilient, what's going to do in that sector. And you can see that recently we are seeing consumer goods being stabilized. We are seeing agro business also looking up. There's stocks that you need to also watch at this point. It's very, very key, especially stock that I would say you watch to take profit is very, very important, because once such stocks start coming down, also even when it didn't come down, when you are seeing reward period, you are seeing dividend coming in, most investors will be leaving that stock that even though its price is high, but there's no reward there. And when they are selling to move to where they expect to be reward, I tell you, dividend income is part of what a part of reward in equity investment. Even as we are expecting to the capital appreciation, bonus is what we call it, dividend, cash dividend or split dividend is also very, very important. But for me, those stock investors should be looking at a way now to look at where they can, because when the market start correcting, you know, fund will leave some stock to the other. For stock, I still should consider this time to look at where you can take profit right now. If you are in this position, it's a stock like a RT Briscoe, Austin La, Union Nikon, Dark Communication, Omatech, NCR, Deep Capital, Mercure, any fund you can also be selling some of them. But now we're seeing there's some sectors that are lagging. How will you question them? We're seeing no insurance sector pulling back. What is in for those stocks? What are the sound fundamental in some of that sector? You can look at them. Then also stocks that you can likely also look at this time that okay, I say okay, what is happening in MTN? Look at what is happening in Boafu, Nestle, is it for defensive? Vitafoam market price, can you go in? Yes, we have seen the new listed company has rolling. Is there in the market for you to buy? Pullback in Japan, you can see opportunity also, in the WAPCO. These are the things are there. You can also separate, like I said, I'm mentioning them, where you can also look at to see how you can take advantage of this market. But focus on fundamental when you are trading, a pullback, or when you want to approach a pullback decision. Because at this time, the takeaway is that you must understand what you're buying. As money is easing, new phase is coming. Another phase that will come to the market is what rally. And how long will it depend on it to come? But if you make your choice carefully, I'll tell you, focus on what? On fundamentals. Look at companies with strong earnings report, healthy balance sheet, and also where you are having low debt in those fundamentals is very clear. And a clear, good strategy in that company. Also consider company that has good dividend history at this time. No, yes, full year results is what was on that way now, all eyes and down level. No, those that have that history, stop with that history of consistent dividend is also where to pay your attention. Also look beyond headline, which is I tell you always, I say look beyond what the NGX index. It might be pulling back while some sectoral index are looking up. And that's why I say since we don't trade our NGX, it's just for a guide to tell us what's happening in the market. We pay attention to what specific sector and stocks, and that is where the opportunity lies. And when we're able to take advantage of this, we're able to make what informed investment decision as we speak. Yes, I'll stop to the here for this class now. But let's look at what are the chart. And the chart, because the chart is trying to tell you that yes, market has remained like a sideways movement after pulling up here to touch 91. After the market has by 5 trillion in a day, you can see what happened. You can see that big volume that was right now as we speak now. We're seeing that we're seeing a good volume in the market right now, and you can see this volume coming from where. And the beauty of that is the market crashing. No, market is not crashing. Why is it not crashing? You can quickly call our T line. What are the things you need to watch out for as a trader or investor? What is the strength of the market as liquidity entering the market? Or is the market trading below the major average moving averages? Yes, we want to call up our T line here. I don't joke with T line in this class. I know everybody here to understand and also know why I don't joke with T line, because it helps you look at your T line now. Turning this one to what? So 8 days know, 8 days exponential, moving average exponential. If you can look at it, here you can see where the market is now. Market is above the T line, and market, have to take away this longer candlestick to say the market is, back, here to break down the line. But as far as market is trading right away at this point, it's a sign that yes, market still also have strong momentum. Volume, like I said earlier, you can see good volume here this morning, but you can see that MACD is very, very strong and sharp. While money flow pull back, when we saw the sell-off probably taken on the previous day, and that trend, money flow has not changed on a daily chart. But we can quickly look at it on a daily chart to see what is happening on a daily chart. Find good news for the market on a daily chart. On a 1-hour chart, you can see the market is also in the green for the past 2 to 3 hours now, which also can see the volume here. Money flow have turned up here after pulling back. You can see the trend of this histogram. But we are seeing that yes, it's still bearish looking at it. But we can also MACD have crossed over on a 1-hour chart. For money flow, which I tell you that is most of the leading indicator where it's from entering. And you can see that in the last 2 hours, the money flow, speaking of, and market is also trading up again. Market is in green. The last 3 hours, market has opened. Look at this key resistance level. Once market able to break that, this kind of sign line you are seeing here, what you see also you see a breakout. That is a new trend. Yes, other MACD is also in a lag indicator, also momentum indicator, also in there, but money flow, that's a lead indicator that follow the money. You can see that it's already on the 1-hour. Tell you that fund is coming back to the market, even when profit taking is also in the market. That's why I say it's a trend we're seeing right now in the market. And on this note, I will say thank you. I will see you on Friday, hopefully by God. Enjoy the rest of your trading. Bye.